Could the Romans have developed high technology? There are several sci-fi stories out there about a time traveler who finds himself in an ancient civilization, often Greece or Rome, and uses his knowledge to introduce some modern technology into that world that drives the story along. Perhaps it's gunpowder, perhaps printing, or more complex technology such as electric lights, a telegraph, and so on. But could it actually be done? Are any of us capable of building such things ourselves? Should we find ourselves in the protagonist's situation? Oh, we could tell tales of it and the marvels of our own world, definitely, but would anybody believe us? And could we actually build something like a telephone, steam engine, or the like, to demonstrate our stories were true? Many of us, though, have the skills to build simplified and basic technology that would amaze people of Roman times. However, could we do it using only the tools and materials available to us in that environment? How could it benefit us personally, besides giving the industrial age an early kickstart? And this ability could also be an intriguing challenge, not only for the entertainment value of a story, but perhaps even in real life, say in the situation of a society or civilization collapse. Like many of us survivalists who find it fun to learn about how to live off the land and survive in extreme situations, but really will never be actually needed. Just the knowledge that one could probably do it can be often psychologically comforting and rewarding. It would actually be fun to challenge YouTube viewers to build such technology and how far one could take it. Such videos would be quite fun to watch. Limiting materials and tools to that available in Roman times, some projects could be directly built first order, so to speak. Other projects might require building another device or tool first, using the Roman tech before the desired project could be built. We could call this second order. That built from second order results would be called third order. For the sake of a challenge, we would not want to exceed a third order project. More points for the highest technology with the lowest order. Well, what can we build? The more spectacular the better. We are looking for things that the Romans could build and use that only need our knowledge to be realized. A simple electric device would be, believe it or not, an electroacoustic telephone. A combination transmitter-receiver could easily be built with a turned and hollowed piece of wood, a thin iron diaphragm, above a natural magnet in cylindrical form, and a coil of varnish-insulated copper wire around it. Just the voice alone moving the diaphragm could generate an electric current that could run down a length of wire connected to the other receiver transmitter that the user could switch from ear to mouth as needed. It would blow their minds and prove you are not all talk, but capable of making the tech you described in your stories. Of course, you can immediately explain about electricity and how it works, in simple terms, before they start thinking you are some kind of god or sorcerer. Explain how your ideas can make any investor or sponsor more wealthy than Rome itself, and you will be able to obtain food and lodging and have a tech lab built to develop and perfect your other projects. Another first-order project would be an acoustic phonograph, which is not only intriguing on its own merit, but might also start a music industry. Not having reliable screw threading means you couldn't directly copy Edison's device with the spiral grooves in a cylinder or disc, but you could use a strip or tape of tin foil or some other flexible, impressionable surface and a kind of hand-cranked, reel-to-reel arrangement, passing under a needle diaphragm, located between the reels, to cut a single groove with a copper horn on it. Electricity can come from a voltaic pile, but you need electric batteries for best results, but you would have to formulate sulfuric acid for something that would be better than a voltaic pile. With electricity, both telegraph and electric telephones would be possible. Miles of copper wire would be hard to come by, though, for a full system. However, it would be possible, believe it or not, to build a spark gap radio transmitter with a coherer receiver for coded long-distance communications. Different stations would have to transmit at pre-arranged times so they don't interfere with each other, although adjusting antenna lengths would help, but until precise electronic oscillators are later developed by your students later on, you could only run a handful of stations. Engines like steam and internal combustion would be at least second order, as standard measurements and precision measuring devices would be needed first.